It's so challenging. It's going to be very challenging to get lean. Very challenging. Peace. Listen, man. Listen. It's so challenging. It's going to be very challenging to get lean. Very challenging. But that's the actual reason. The reason it's worth anything is because it's challenging. Right? If it was easy, it wouldn't be worth anything. Like when you consider what a Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, some kind of discounted place, it don't be worth much. When you consider the price of gold, which is currently at this current time over $4,000 a spot, when you consider things that are high value, like getting lean, having a six-pack of V-taper, a wide chest crevice, those things are valuable because they're very challenging. Like when you still want to socialize at 11 p.m., 10 p.m., midnight, but you're faced with the reality of having to get up at 4:30 to 5 o'clock. That is very challenging to make that disciplined decision. And a lot of people just have motivation, not discipline, you know? And people always say that discipline is that flame, that pilot light on the stove that's always on. That's discipline and consistency. But people get motivated, right? If you face a setback, if you face a trial, a tribulation, a temptation, which we all do, all humans do. If you face one of those, then you've been motivated before, right? If you were ever disappointed, you were then motivated after that. But what happens is motivation wanes. You know, waxing and waning moon type thing, right? When you got a full moon, it enlarges from a new moon. When it's a waning, motivation wanes. It becomes less over time. If you don't have that discipline and consistency, it's going to be gone. Your motivation will be gone. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. But you got to figure out how to get lean. There's too much information online. It's the information age. It's something like it's easier to have a six-pack than $1 million. Right? So it's just paradigms and limiting beliefs at this point. You got to figure out how to get lean and make it happen. It requires sacrifice. It's chess. It requires sacrifice. You got to sacrifice some pieces in order to have a more advantageous position on the board of life. It goes without saying. You're going to have to practice. You're going to have to be embarrassed. You're going to have to get out your comfort zone in order to be lean. And you're going to have to revolutionize your self-identity. That's a topic for a different video, but anything worth it is not going to come easy. Getting lean isn't easy. Now, to each their own, I don't count calories. I don't weigh food. I've been training since 2008 though. Right? So there's a little bit of implicit knowledge I have versus explicit, which is the calorie counting and all of that stuff. Implicitly, I know if I'm under or over. And that's just me. Everybody's different. And you can see my results. Each their own. I know for me, I'm what they call a hard gainer. But I'll lose 5 pounds in 2 days. I can get lean quick. I have to force myself to hold this stature. I could lose a 20 pound in like 2 weeks to a month and be super cut. I'm also not someone that I don't really mess with the lowering your body fat to the percentage to where your testosterone drops is nonsensical to me. Unless you're about to compete or seeking to become a professional bodybuilder, then go ahead and do your thing. But if you're a civilian walking around and you got a job, most people at your job are overweight, and you're walking around at 8% with low test to flex on who? Someone who hasn't probably done 100 push-ups in 10 years, 20 years, maybe never. Like, so be careful with that extreme lean. Like, that's body dysmorphia. That's becoming fixated. You want to look good in your clothes. You want to be able to not have to concern yourself with your outfits because your chest pops and your shoulder and that V taper, that pops. That's what you want to do. You want to focus on that. You don't want to focus on, at least from my perspective, this is the edge of the hill perspective. You don't want to focus on having extreme veins and striations. You're going to get that when you become leaner. But people's goal sometimes is to be like, I want to see my hamstring veins in my quad. I've never seen my quad veins. Me, I've never seen them. I've ran 13 miles before. I don't have weak legs though. Like, and my legs are skinny. So like, to each their own. Different training approaches, different strategies. Me, I train for aesthetic now. When I first started, I was an endurance cardio person. Then I became a calisthenic athlete. That's how I got my base stature. Excuse the background. That's how I got my base stature. And then I had a small stint of like bodybuilding, powerlifting. I got a soft injury in like my tendon ligament, so I quit that. And now I just do calisthenic and weightlifting for aesthetic. As they would say, look maxing. But it's not easy. That the main point in this video is getting lean. You're gonna have to earn it. You gotta earn getting lean. You can't buy leanness. You can't buy leanness. I wish you could, you know. I wish you could. I would have bought some a long time ago. You would, if you could buy leanness, you would see people be in debt tenfold just to have a V taper. What you see chicks go, you see chicks go in debt. You see chicks die. I've seen chicks leave this earth. R.I.P. them chicks. There's chicks that have left this earth just to have a better aesthetic, to be lean, liposuction, BBLs, stomach reduction, right? Ozempic, right? Causing blindness, right? So if leanness was a price associated and a commodity, best believe it would be one of the top ones. I don't think it would be number one, because number one would be discipline and consistency married together, and then secondarily would be leanness. But it's not going to be easy, man. The fundamentals, man. Do your 200 sets a day, 200 push, 200 squat, 200 dips, 200 pull-ups, 200 crunches. And from there, it's impossible for you not to have a physiological change. Don't overthink it. Don't get confused. Don't complicate your life. Lean is law, but it ain't easy. It's earned. It ain't free either. So get your money on, get your money on, get your money on, but also get that leanness. Stay healthy and stay wealthy. Love you out of life, man. Peace.